Shayne Gostisbehere, number 4 for your Carolina Hurricanes, joins us on the Adam Gold Show. First thing I want to say, thank you very much for spending some time. I know you guys are finally back on the ice. Before I get to Four Nations, what did you do for a week?
I was actually pretty low key. My plan was to stay in Raleigh. I just had a baby, about 3 weeks ago. So
that's right.
Just stay back and enjoy, being a dad without, obviously the rigors of a hockey schedule and the season. But I saw it was raining for about 6 days, so my wife and I just started to pack up, and we went home to Connecticut for about 4 days, just showed the baby off to friends and family, and then, just came back Sunday up to Raleigh, or down to Raleigh, sorry, and then, yeah, it was nice, though. I thought I would have a little FOMO, missing out on the guys, working on their tans, but, after a couple of days went by, I was actually pretty happy to, be home and, be a little family.
Oh, that's very cool. So did you do some late-night feedings?
I'm not gonna lie. My wife's been a champion right now. I can't really help too much on that front. I've changed a few diapers and I'm taking care of the dogs. I'm doing the little things. She says I'm helping out. It doesn't feel like I am, but compared to what she's doing. But she's been, the champion for us right now, and really appreciate it.
Shayne Gostisbere is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Well, congratulations on that. So let me, if you could, Saturday night, did you watch? If you did, what was your reaction at the beginning of the game?
So I was actually sitting on the couch alone. My wife went to go do something real quick, and then I saw the face off, and I'm like they're gonna fight. And then I just saw it, and I was like, oh, that I figured they were gonna, at least Matthew was gonna fight, and then they were lining up again. I'm like, they're gonna fight again, and I was like, oh my god. And then I don't know if the third one was planned either, but Millsy got in there too, and I was like, wow, this is pretty crazy right now. And obviously for this going on right now, and you see other leagues and their all-star events, and this is our all-star event right now, and it's pretty cool to see these guys, leaving it all out there and representing their countries with pride.
It's what struck me going in is that I just kind of assumed, all right, it's an all-star game, but it's more than that. But ultimately, I figured it would be a lot of skating, high-level skating. I did not anticipate the physicality. And we saw that from the first game, not even USA-Canada. We saw that Canada-Sweden was a physical game. USA-Finland was an incredibly tight-checking physical hockey game. Has any of that surprised you, or did you think this is what it was going to be all along?
I thought it was going to be this all along. It's kind of got that playoff-like atmosphere. The game speed's there. I mean, right now it's the best players in the world going at it. And anytime you're going to represent your country, too, it's definitely not going to be a little all-star game and, a little shinny hockey here.
Right.
I think for them, just, what they're doing, the guys are on the beaches somewhere doing their thing, and these guys are, putting their bodies on the lines, and, even obviously they've got to play for their club teams too. But when when you put your country's jersey on, it's a little different feeling, and it's pretty cool to see, to be honest.
Shayne Gostisbere is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. All right, you're a defenseman. You want to walk us through what you've seen from Jacob Slavin, especially against the likes of McKinnon and McDavid from Canada on Saturday night?
Yeah, I mean, we got the best seat in the house because we get to watch him do it, night in and night out. And, I think it was funny because I got so many texts from my buddies saying, I didn't know Slavin was so good. I'm like, he is the king of doing things that go unnoticed that make a big deal, if that makes sense to anyone. And it's showing in his performance. I mean, when you're playing against the top guys in the world, and especially when those guys are playing together, and see what he's doing, and making the game hard on those top end skill guys, it's pretty impressive. And that's the Slava we know and we get to see every night, and we're lucky to have him. I mean, he's played a heck of a tournament here, and hopefully have a big one tomorrow night too.
Yeah, what I saw Saturday night was also somebody that, I mean, it's going to sound weird, but Nathan McKinnon was like, nah, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to try to beat him around the right side because I can't. So I'll stop and I'll try to make a play here. He basically took that part of the game away at one point from the guys like that.
You can't even dump a puck in on him sometimes. He'll slap it out of the air. I mean, his stick is so good. His defending is obviously probably the best in the world. And it's cool to see it on display and see him get that recognition because, like I said, he does some little things every game that not a fair weather fan's going to see or notice, but we notice it every night, and we realize how lucky we are to have him on our team. And what he's doing out there is like what you said. It's a little roadblock on the right side because you don't want to go down his wing because he's probably going to make a great defensive play or deter something, and that's the effect he has on the game.
Do you think? Because I know you've enjoyed watching it. Do you think a lot of the guys around the league have enjoyed it maybe as much as you have, or is it a USA-Canada thing?
I think everyone's enjoying watching it. I mean, especially how hard these guys are playing. I mean, I don't know if anyone around the league expected it to be an all-star game. I don't think they did, but, just you appreciate how hard they're playing out there. Like I said, there's guys on beaches right now enjoying the life, and, I know they're poking their heads in watching too. It's the best players in the world going at it. So, it's a treat to watch. It doesn't happen often either. And, obviously it helps with, you got 4 countries, 2 countries each that have big rivalries. And, we're fortunate enough to see 2 big games of USA, Canada, obviously for all the marbles coming up. So it's pretty exciting. And like I said, it doesn't happen often.
All right, what tips the power one way or the other tomorrow night? Then we'll actually talk about the Hurricanes for a sec. Who do you like tomorrow night and why?
Obviously USA, being an American, and just the way they played that game the first time they played. They set the tone, obviously, with the physicality and the fights, but they controlled the game after that. They have a perfect blend of that offensive style, and they can play defensive. They have the guys to play both ways, and they have the goaltending too. They have the best goaltender in the world, and they just have the perfect match, the perfect blend. I know they're a little banged up, but there's probably other guys banged up too on the other side, so you can't use it as an excuse. And they're going to go do their thing.
Seth Jarvis did not play the other day. I assume that you guys want him to play, but you also want him back in one piece. So you guys reconvened yesterday and got back on the ice. Does everybody seem like refreshed after a week off?
Yeah, maybe not the first practice yesterday. Got to shake the sun legs out or whatever you want to say. But yeah, I mean we're getting it in. It's a nice reset, as Roddy would say. Just gearing up for the hardest part of the season coming up. The last 30 games, everyone's trying to get in the race for the playoffs, and you obviously want to find that consistency leading into playoffs. So like I said, for us to be in a great spot here to work on our game and find that consistency, we're pretty lucky, and we're just going to continue to try to get those points.
Shayne Gostisbehere is joining us here. What is the hardest thing about as somebody who has come into a locker room midseason? What's the hardest thing for the player coming in?
When I did it, I was just more worried about fit. You just want to fit in, not only on the ice, off the ice with the guys. And, I think Carolina does such a good job of that, of making guys feel comfortable right away. Just talking to them, if they look like they're a deer in headlights, go, hey man, you need help. Like, just little things. The wives are great here too, with the spouses and whatnot, and letting other wives, make them feel comfortable as well if they need a ride to the rink, anything like that. And that's a big reason why I obviously wanted to come back to Carolina. It's just, that tight-knit feel that we have as a team and an organization, and you can't take that for granted.
Without having you speak for Mikko, he was in a little bit of a different situation because it came as a complete shock to him, right? Yeah, I think you probably had expected some movement when you were traded to Carolina a few years ago. So what do you think he had to deal with being uprooted from Denver to come here?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a whole different situation for sure. I mean, I knew I was getting traded. I got traded at the deadline. I mean, Mikko, the caliber player he is, he's a superstar, and you don't see those type of trades every day. And obviously, when he got here, I think the best thing was that we were playing games right away, so he could just get into the fire and get going. But yeah, obviously his head was probably spinning. But in those situations, as guys, as teammates, we want to make him feel as as welcoming as possible, as comfortable as possible for him, just to make his transition nice and easy, because he's going to be a huge part of this organization.
Shayne Gostisbehere, as you are. I appreciate your time, sir. Enjoy the snow, if you can enjoy this snow. I know your little one's too young for this snow, but you know that. I'll see you very soon. I appreciate your time. We'll see you back on the ice in a couple of days.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.